Better now, should be. No sound because I had the mic muted. No, so yeah, I dealt with my service provider earlier today, and they managed to get my speed improved on my connection, and the connection is pretty good. I was getting about 90 meg down and 230 up. Still no sound. Well, you should definitely have sound now. My mic is reading. How about now? Sound? Can you hear me? Hear me? Okay. This has been one like continuous nightmare. Um, and again, I'm not sure where the fault lies. I was blaming my internet connection because its speed had been down last couple weeks. I called them and dealt with them this morning, and they managed to get my speed problems relatively solved. I mean, I'm not getting the up and down speeds that I should be, uh, but I was getting 90 meg down and 230 to 250 meg up. So the connection's not the issue. This is an attempt to bypass the router and see if the router is the issue. So I plugged straight into the wall, and the camera angle is different because I had an extension cable on my webcam, and I did notice when I went to a site that tests webcams that my frame rate was about half of what it should be when plugged into the extension cable. So I removed the extension cable, I bypassed the router, unplugged directly into the wall. At this point, I really have no choice but to blame the entirety of the problem on my PC. So, which is a bummer, because I was hoping this week to continue my live stream build series on the MVS build series, and it doesn't look like that's going to be a viable option. Yeah, I tried. Another thing I'm trying was going from ultra low latency to low latency. Um, as far as the chat, seeing if that helped at all. Which I knew that meant I would have a slower reaction time to chat, but if I could at least get it working well enough to do my build series stream, then I was going to be able to do that this week. And so yeah, I know there's going to be a delay on chat, and it's going to be a significant delay, and I'm sorry for that. But I was trying anything and everything I could to prevent what we had last week when I attempted to stream, which was essentially the audio was good, and it was like listening to a podcast with a picture slideshow, because the video was just so choppy. You'd get like one frame every 2 to 3 seconds, it seems. So I was trying anything and everything to speed up things on my end, because I know the problem is on my end. And so that was a test on that. Is the video as choppy as it was last week? I don't know if you were here for the one last week. That was just, it was unwatchable. Ended up unlisting it, and so, like I said, at this point, it's not my internet connection. 90 meg up and 250 down should be good enough for streaming. And yeah, so I don't think Walter's getting anywhere near that, and he's able to stream just fine. And And then I tried, like I said, removing the extension cable I had on my webcam. That's why it's over here now instead of over there, which is where I'd rather have it. I don't know. Stream Health says it's good right now on YouTube's end. Oh, now it just dropped a video output low again. Hey, Jesse. Yeah, I'm at my wit's end, man. Like I said, at this point, I have almost no choice but to blame my PC because my service provider, worked things out with me and got my speed where it should be good enough. I mean, it's not, and she even said when I was talking to her on the phone that it's not where they'd like to see it, and they offered to send a technician out, but they said if they find that the problem is on my end, they're going to charge me a service fee. And so I don't want to spend $60 on a service fee when I know I've got some issues on my end. And I just tried choppy again. Yeah, see, hold on, let me see something here. Oh, wow. My CPU usage is staying at a steady like 98 to 99%. And it says my memory usage is like in the 70s, which right now I have everything closed but a browser for YouTube and OBS. Everything else on my computer is closed. And there are no processes showing up in the process list that yeah, my processor, my CPU usage keeps spiking up to 98 and 99%. Hey James, taking the 2 now. Yeah. So I don't know. This video will end up probably like the last one. This is mainly just to try and test things, and I was hoping some people would show up to tell me if it's just as choppy as it has been, and it's definitely not good. So I don't know. And like I said, at this point I have no choice but to blame it on my PC because it's saying my CPU usage keeps spiking up to 98 and 99%, and I think that's probably when we're getting the choppiness. Yeah, my graphics card is very old and very small. It's a NVIDIA Quadro FX 1700. Right now it's just plugged straight into the USB. I even removed the extension cable from my camera because I went to a site that did webcam testing and gives you back the frame rate. And when I plug it straight in, I get 29 frames per second. And when I plug it into the extension cable, I'm getting between 14 and 17 frames per second. The webcam is just a cheap Logitech C615. Yeah, Walter's not going to be able to send the computer stuff he thought he was going to because when he got that stuff in the mail last Thursday, he tried setting it all up, and the motherboard he was sent apparently was bad. He went to power it up, and nothing. It didn't even beep. So yeah, um, I'm trying to hide my look of absolute frustration and anger because I hate it when things don't work the way they're supposed to. And right now, I think that's just my computer is it's old. Um, I bought it in 2008 as a refurb unit, so I mean it's you know, and it's a heavy duty machine. I mean it's a workstation, so it's got a server motherboard and server RAM and a Xeon processor and all that. But I think it's just it's an age thing. I think it's just reached a point where it's done. So hey Derek, and what's weird is my computer seems to do everything else I needed to do. It just won't stream. There's no streaming, and so like I said, I want to continue my build series for the MVS build series, but I want to stream that when I do. And I made the promise in the first video that I won't work on that design unless it's during a stream. Well, that's just it. Is I've done everything I can to try to fix this, Derek, and it's just I think there's some hardware somewhere within my computer that's just starting to act up, and um, I mean, it could be on the software end. It could be operating system stuff. It seems like since this all took place, I'm gonna say it's been happening probably around the time that I got my last Windows update in. So I don't know if the last Windows update uh, changed something in the hierarchy of the machine in which it's how it's ordering things or what processes are running in the background for the OS. Well, yeah, I I could stream with my phone. The problem is being able to screen share the stuff I'm doing on Blender during the builds because that's the majority of what I do these streams for is to there's some other stuff I do of course, but the whole purpose of this channel was to design stuff in Blender and 3D print it and show people the design process to try to make people, to show them that a complete novice like myself can design it. Anybody can design in Blender. And so, the screen share thing, I don't know how well that would work as far as just using my phone and pointing it at the screen when I'm doing stuff. Yeah, Fernando, that's an option, and I was talking with Walter this morning on his morning coffee that I might I'm considering getting a hold of another hard drive and getting a hold of a 64-bit version of Windows since my processor will handle 64-bit, a 64-bit OS, and getting a hold of a 64-bit copy of Windows and doing a clean install and starting over and seeing if that doesn't solve the problem. Because like I said, the funny thing is it does everything. I mean, it does all the work in Blender and it renders the files that I'm designing and things like that. And it doesn't seem to slow it down or have any problem doing it. And I can browse the web and check my email. I can do all that stuff without problem. It only has a problem with attempting to stream. Walter, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm testing my computer stuff and trying to locate my problem, and and I've been unsuccessful so far. I've bypassed my router. I got rid of the extension cable that I was using on my webcam, which put it in a position that I don't like it being in. So I'm actually sitting way off kilter from my from my chair or from where my desk center is and all that right now, so that I can be even in the field of view. because the cable that's on that webcam is very, very short. But I had an extension cable on it, and all the streams I was doing, you know, before this all went down were passable at least. But so I was trying everything on my end to speed it up. I get almost double the frame rate without the extension cable. Seeing if it was something on that end. Right now, the only two things running are OBS and a browser window. And the browser window is open to my YouTube and got the chat open. And I got that open so I can look at my stream health, and it hasn't been good. It hasn't gotten out of the orange most of the time, and even sometimes drops into the red. But yeah, I bypassed my router, ran a speed test. I'm getting 90 meg up, or I mean 90 meg down, 250 meg up. So I mean that should be sufficient for streaming. So I know I can't blame my ISP now. I bypassed the router, so it's not the router. I got rid of the extension cable for the webcam, which should have doubled the webcam's frame rate, so that's not causing the choppiness. And when I opened up Task Manager a little bit ago, my CPU usage is staying consistently high. The CPU is never getting a break. Yeah, the video is, well, it's choppily running over here on the page. I don't know. Let me close that and see. Are we any better now? But see, I'd always done that in the past. That had been, running. So, I haven't done anything from that end differently than I was in the past when I was able to stream just fine. Yeah, I did. It's gone now. All right. Well, my question now would be, if I open up Blender, I'm just going to open up Blender now and see if we can have Blender on screen and see if it goes back to being choppy. All right, let me go to that scene. All right. We've got Blender up now. Chat back up here where I can see it on top. And like I said, I can't see what I'm doing right now, so I'll have to It's still choppy, but better. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Like when I bring this up, bring a blender now that it's up, did that make things worse? Because the whole hope is to be able to live stream the stuff that I'm designing in Blender and then use it as like a tutorial for people. Excuse me. Which I did some work on the jet this morning while watching Walter's Morning Coffee. Less choppy now that the camera video is smaller. Could I have a problem? Could I have a bad webcam? I mean, I know it's still pretty much new. Take it back to Walmart and exchange it. Better with the screen share. So if the video is moving smoothly and the audio is working, maybe we could do that. Do just that. Well, for that matter, I don't even know why you need to see my face while I'm doing this. It's almost smooth when I'm screen sharing. Well, let's see. Let's try the screen only one. Now, I know you guys won't be able to watch your chat while I do this. So now while using OBS to do screen share only, and then you guys won't be able to see your chat either, so that got rid of the chat and the webcam altogether. It is a Logitech C615. Best camera $35 could buy. Right, James. Yeah, nobody needs to look at me. It's okay. I'm not that pretty. Hopefully the jet I'm designing is prettier than I am. Not saying it's pretty, it's kind of, it needs some work yet. So doing just the screen share, not having any chat or the embedded webcam, has that improved things? I'll have to wait. I know there's a delay because, like I said, I set it to low latency instead of ultra low latency. Trying anything and everything to make this stream smoother. Yeah, I was going to say it'd be harder to tell if it's choppy. That's why I was trying to move stuff around the screen and see if it's... Well, I don't really have time to do anything in Blender today. What I was trying to do is test this stuff, so when I have the day off tomorrow, I will be able to stream working in Blender if I can get this all sorted out. So this is mainly just to see if, you know, so I started working on the canopy. You can see that there. It still needs some work. It's about the same. Okay. This is all just frustrating me to no end because, like I said, I know it's on my end, and at this point, I have to blame the PC or the webcam itself. I don't know. Waggle the mouse. Moving the mouse in circles All right, so I got to wrap this up anyway. I got to go run pick up my son, but I was trying to get myself in a position where I could stream the MVS Build Along series tomorrow, since I have the day off. And so I was trying to do everything I could to get a passable streaming situation going on my end. So you guys have to tell me. Yeah, that could be. That could be. The video card is old. It is a NVIDIA Quadro FX 1700. It's a 512 megabyte uh, video RAM card. But my CPU usage when I pull up the task manager has been like consistently like 98, 99%. And it seems like it's been that way since the last Windows update. And so I don't know if Windows Update did something that screwed up the computer. Like when Apple got caught intentionally slowing down their old devices, so you go out and buy new ones. Because this has a PCI Express video card in it, and but like I said, it's only a 512 meg uh, card, NVIDIA Quadro FX 1700. This machine is supposed to be able to handle up to the Quadro 5800, which is a 4 meg card, but the Quadro 5800 requires in this machine requires a 1000 watt power supply, which I do not have the 1000 watt version of the power supply. And yeah, that's Apocalypse Survivor. It's even just running just OBS, Blender, and the chat window. It's staying at 98, 99%. And it's uh, the thing that's taken up all the CPU usage is the Windows Store. The Windows Store app. And the way they've got it integrated into the OS, you can't shut it off. Yeah, I am using Chrome. Should I use a different browser there, Derek? All right, Walter. I will be tuning into your stream if at all possible, man. Um, I leave for work about 4:30, so I should hopefully get to catch most of it. Thank you, Apocalypse Survivor. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, and that's just it. Is that's the whole reason I started this channel was for me to design stuff, share it with you guys as I do, and so that you could design your own stuff and we could all make this happen. And that's that's the purpose of this channel. You can shut off the WS app X, I think is what the process was. And when I tried to stop process, and it gave me a warning that it could affect the system itself. Pop-up warning that it was a necessary process. And I followed that thing where you go into in the GP edit there, and went into computer configuration and administrative templates, and what was it? Windows components, store, and I went in and I tried to, I enabled turn off store application and restarted the computer. And it still shows up, and it still takes up almost all the CPU usage. Let me try going into Task Manager. So there you can see what I'm talking about. The WS App X right there is eating up 42.2%, 40%, always up 30s and 40s. So yeah, I mean it's the thing that is most dragging on the CPU usage. Do it via services. Okay, where would I shut that? Where would I go to shut that off at? Oh crap! I just looked at the time. Derek, if you have a chance, shoot me a direct message on Twitter about this, and because I've got to run out the door and go pick up my son. I was supposed to leave like 10 minutes ago, and he'll be mad at me if I'm late. So I got to go pick him up. Shoot me a DM on Twitter about it, or you can send me an email. But no one can ever spell my name exactly right. You can send me an email at 3d@rickyleetanner.com. That's RICKIELEETANNER. Because I'm not going to have time to continue this because I'm already late. I will continue or look for that, or try to continue this when I get home from picking him up from school. But I got to run, guys. Thanks for stopping by and helping me out, and hopefully we can get this thing solved. So I appreciate y'all helping, and but I got to run.